Hello, everybody, and welcome to Red Wings Daily, presented to you by FanArch. I'm your host, Kirk MckNight, author of The Voices of Hockey, Broadcasters Reflect on the Fastest Game on Earth, and I'm coming to you from the Pacific Northwest, 2,454 miles from Little Caesars Arena. Now, speaking of the PNW, the Red Wings have made their way out of Pacific Northwest and over to Alberta to take on first the Calgary Flames tomorrow night and then the Edmonton Oilers the night after that. It's a little bit of a shame that the Red Wings couldn't stay a little bit longer in the PNW, considering the fact that they're 4-0 up here over the last two seasons against the Canucks and the Kraken. Now, before we get into last night's 4-0 victory against Vancouver, I want to go to the Tantrum Tuesday segment because it's a twofer today. We're going to start with Saturday night, the game I was at up there at Climate Pledge Arena, the 4-3 win for the Red Wings over the Kraken. Late goal by Kane, about less than 3 minutes to go, and Kane gets the game winner basically for the Red Wings. But before that, I had mentioned that there was kind of a switch that got hit, and it was the fact that JVR had a goal pretty late in the second period. It really turned the tides of the game. Less than 30 seconds to go in the period. That obviously can be a very frustrating thing for a team to give up that goal. And so right as the horn sounded to end the second period, here comes Finns going up against Vince Dunn, a known enforcer for the Kraken, a guy who gets into it a lot, all over the league. And here comes Finns and him just going at it. And one of the beautiful things, like I said, about being at a game live, you're not restricted to whatever the network shows you. And there was plenty of fight in those two because the horn had already sounded. So it's not like it's not like we're about to resume play or anything like that. We got an 18-minute intermission ahead of us. Well, they went at it and kept fighting, and it was a voracious tussle between those two. They just, no matter how many times the refs separated them, they kept coming back at each other. So it was definitely a performance worthy of Tantrum Tuesday. Now, the second end of Tantrum Tuesday is going to include somebody by the name of Kane, but not the Kane that we all love here in Detroit. It's probably the Kane that pretty much anybody outside of whatever market he's playing in hates, and that's Evander Kane, number 91 for the Vancouver Canucks. I'd already mentioned him in yesterday's show. I told you he's my second least favorite player, but actually, you know what? Scratch that. After last night, he is my least favorite player once again. Tom Wilson, you can take a back seat. You can go back to being second. That's all right. Evander, you're back in the pilot seat as far as the crap train, which is never going by my station. I can't say enough. But like I had mentioned, I was in Vegas when the Golden Knights and Sharks were going through that rivalry, and Kane seemed to be always getting into the scraps a lot of the time. But Evander last night, after his shot, basically took a stick. I don't know why he didn't get a slash on this. It's unfortunate that the ref didn't call this because he took a stick after the glove save by Gibby. Kane took a stick to his glove, basically trying to knock it out. I can't remember who it was, but the Red Wings took exception to that real quick and got right in Kane's face and started trying to rough him up a little bit. So I maybe I shouldn't throw things out there because I said hopefully he doesn't put a knee out. He didn't put a knee out, and he didn't injure Gibby, but I can guarantee you that didn't go over too well for Gibby for him to take a swat at a stick like that. In fact, he, after letting the puck loose of it, kind of looking around the ref like, are you going to call something or what? So he lived up to the expectations, and those are low expectations. Obviously didn't score any points because his team got shut out. So anytime that Kane is on the losing side, and by this I mean Evander Kane, I'm always going to be happy about it. Luckily, he doesn't play for the Red Wings, and hopefully he never will, because I would really hate to be thinking of him in a positive in any team in which he's winning. So let's just keep him on whatever other side of the face-off circle that doesn't involve the Red Wings. Speaking more on last night's game, the Red Wings, big shout-out to Gibby for the shutout, 39 saves. He's 6-7-1 on the year now, so he's won a couple in a row, and he won the other night. Pretty decent game against the Kraken, but not as good as a shutout. Some really big points for the Red Wings from last night's game is the fact that they were 0 for 2 on the power play, but they were a perfect 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. Obviously, they were perfect in a penalty kill because they didn't allow any goals. But a couple of the little side notes from the game. JVR scored a goal once again. So that's 4 straight games with a goal for JVR. He's really starting to heat up. Like I said, he scored that goal with 30 seconds to go in the second period the other night in Seattle, shifted the tides, and he was able to get another goal tonight to really solidify himself, and hopefully the veteran just continues with his hot streak. The Red Wings, stat-wise, the shots were 39-20, so they were almost outshot twice, basically 2 shots to 1 of theirs by Vancouver, yet they still couldn't get a goal. So kudos to Gibby for really stopping 39 shots like that. The most important thing about last night's win is the fact that with Tampa Bay's loss to the Maple Leafs, the Red Wings leapfrogged them and went from 4th to 1st, and are in first with 35 points. They're 16, 11, and 3 on the season. So with that win, like I said, some of those times when you're going through a losing streak, 1 or 2 games can drop you from 1st to 5th. But, when you've gone 5 straight games with points, as the Red Wings have now, 5 out of 6 possible points on this road trip, that will really turn you around and go and put you from 4th to 1st in a matter of 1 game. So we'll see how things shake up in the next day or two, with the other teams probably playing tomorrow, with the Red Wings having a day off, and then the Red Wings playing 2 straight, 2 back-to-back games is going to be tough, but hopefully they can pull another couple points out of those 2 games and keep this point streak going. Tonight, want to talk a little bit about JT Compher, who got an assist last night's game. It was his 2nd assist in 2 games. A little bit about Compher. He's in his 10th season. This is his 3rd season with Detroit. He had played 7 seasons with Colorado. He won the Cup with them in 2022. On the season so far, going into last night's game, he had 19 blocks and 11 hits, and his plus-minus is a -7. So I think that's probably a negative that, no pun intended, but yeah, that's definitely an improvement that needs to be made in that situation. But he plays on the 4th line with JVR and Rasmussen, and he plays on the 2nd penalty kill unit. So Compher, like I said, he doesn't have many points on the season, but he does have assists in 2 straight. So he's really starting to come around a little bit, showing his grit, and really being involved in the plays when they need to be. Like I said, last night the penalty kill was 3 for 3, so whatever part of the ice he was on with that at the 1st or the 2nd minute mark, he obviously shut him down along with the first line, the PK. So good for him and good for the Red Wings on that. The defense has really started to strangulate. They haven't given a goal since probably midway through the second period in Seattle. So that's a good 4+ periods in a row that the Red Wings haven't given them a goal. And more important, Gibby was the one in the crease during all that time. So Gibby's on a little bit of a save streak here, and we'll see how things shake out for him over the next couple of games as the Red Wings, like I said, start taking on the Calgary Flames and the Edmonton Oilers. Now, I believe Calgary is struggling a lot this year. I believe they might still be in last place in the Pacific Division, but never take anything for granted, especially when you're on a long road trip like this. But so far, three games on the road trip, 3 games with points, out of a possible 6, they've got 5, like I already mentioned. So, with this day off, get a little bit of rest, get their wits about them, hopefully get a solid performance going into, Wednesday night, and we'll just have to see how they come out on the other end. Now it comes to our no cap recap, my favorite part of the program. And basically, with the game being such a late one, last night the press conference had to be relegated to yesterday's press conference moments during the morning skate. But when asked, McClellan, when he was asked about the teams answering the bell the last couple of games, seeing as how Red Wings have really been coming together ever since that shootout loss in Boston, they kind of turned things around. They took, like I said, they took a possible 0 points and turned it into 1, and it's basically been points in the 4 games that have followed that. But when asked about that, McClellan said this: "The good thing is we're never really out of it. We have enough offense most nights that somebody can get out there and find a way to put one in the net and keep us close. The game in Seattle the other day, I thought in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the second, the 2-on-1 made a huge difference to settle us down a little bit, and then we played a real good period in the third. Each game has its own events, and we talk about resiliency. that we're never going to be perfect, but if it's not real good, can we find ways to play our B game for a little while, and we find legs, hands, connectivity, whatever you might want to call it. Over the last few games, we've been able to do that. Now, throwing that into the AI slang translator, and coming out the other end, we have the lit part is we've never really cooked. We've got enough heat on offense most nights that someone can pop off and snipe one in the net and keep us chill. The Seattle game the other day, I peeped in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the second. The 2-on-1 low-key clutch by calming us down a bit, and then we slayed the third. Each game's got its own vibes, and we're all about that bounce-back energy. We're never going to be flawless, but if it ain't hitting, can we still bring our B game for a sec till we find our groove, our mojo, our link-up, whatever you want to call it. Lately, we've been kind of killing it with that. And kudos to the Red Wings for killing it with that and showing that you're never really cooked, especially over these last 5 games. Sitting there in first place. We'll see what happens with other teams like Boston, Montreal, Ottawa. Let's see how they fare over the next couple of days while the Red Wings are waiting for that matchup against Calgary. Folks, the Red Wings are in first place, so as I can always say, and with much pride, LGRW from the PNW, this has been Red Wings Daily, presented to you by FanArch, and I'm your host, Kirk MckNight. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever. We're grateful for it all, and we'll see you next time. Go Red Wings.